Hello, everyone. This is Monsaf Afkar, and thank you so much for joining us in this new call of your divine uniqueness. So, as always, thank you for your presence, for being here with us, whether live or on the replay. And yeah, also very excited that Sylvie Oliveira is with us on the show for the first time. Um, yeah, really excited about today's call because she will be sharing with us her message, teaching, and at the same time, we will be really experiencing um, sound healing that she will be facilitating later on the call as a transmission for the group, and it will be serving everyone, whether you are here on the live call or anytime if you will be watching or listening to the replay. So yeah, so the call is about turning on the codes of I am enough with quantum sound harmonics, and so she will be discussing that, and also because like I am enough is maybe sometimes we don't give it much importance, but it really can change everything the way we relate to ourselves as the most important relationship we have is the one with ourselves. And this will affect how we live our life, how we relate to others, and how we honor ourselves in everything we are creating. So I feel this will be very, very inspiring, very powerful. And also if as you say, if you are new to her, like Sylvie is an intuitive channel, transitional guide, and DNA Sound Activator. So she will be sharing also about her work, about her healing work, which can be really, really powerful. And she will be sharing about how you can work with her when we will be talking about the offer today. So yeah, so with that, Sylvie, welcome to the show. Very happy to have you with us today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me here today. A pleasure.
Um, yeah, wonderful. So, yeah, so in the beginning, I would love if you can tell us about your healing work and also about yourself,
Mhm.
so our audience can learn more about you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for the question. Um, well, I guess I'll start, where it started for me, which I think a similar story for many, which is it started with the physical body. And I certainly came into this life experiencing some allergies when I was a kid, like a nut allergy. And later on into early teens and into young adulthood, it started with digestive challenges, quite a few. And so eventually that led me to a naturopath and cleaning up my diet. So I would say, as many, when it starts with the physical body, it started up with really cleaning up my own diet and realizing that my body was quite sensitive and there were certain things that worked for me and didn't, which I think is many times the path for many, is like starting with the external world. And things got better and I improved, and then came another major life change, becoming a mother. And with that, I guess comes another level of pressure on the physical body. And so then things turned up basically in my brain. So in terms of brain fog, exhaustion, and that sort of thing. So once again, the physical body was giving me signs and symptoms. And it was also perfectly orchestrated because that led me really to actually dive more into the subconscious mind. So once again, I cleared up my brain fog, felt better, and then I became very curious about the subconscious mind and how the mind works. And so I kept following breadcrumbs again, because that's what I think that I've always been doing, is following those breadcrumbs along the way. And within that period of time, left all my past careers, which was in the corporate world, and decided to become a health coach, which tied into all the physical things that I've been having. And then through that journey, started, as I said, learning about the subconscious mind, and then started learning different modalities to help reprogram our belief systems. And so I became very involved in understanding how the mind works, how our subconscious and our beliefs are so important in creating our reality. And so became a health coach, started helping people in that realm, and then kept following the breadcrumbs. And then eventually, I started to understand that my ability to listen, and my ability to, or sometimes it felt like the disadvantage to be very affected by outside noise, was giving me a signal as to that, that was actually an important gift that I had, which comes back to sound, which is why I'm surrounded by these sound instruments today. So in following those breadcrumbs, I started to realize that, music has always been important to me. Deep listening has always been important to me, um, and sensing into people has always been a felt sense, and it's something that I feel in my body and something that I hear. And so eventually, being at a retreat, and there was a crystal bowl there, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And I've only seen one online, never really saw one in person. And I sat down with the crystal bowl and I started playing it. Didn't really know what I was doing, but I just figured there was this mallet and there was, the rim. And within playing, a couple people came up to me at the retreat and said, oh, you must have one of those at home and you must play that all the time. And I was like, nope, never touched one ever before. This is my first time. And so I realized in that moment there was something going on, because I was very comfortable with this crystal bowl and with this sound. And I could tell how any chatter in my mind just completely turned off. And that started then, that next journey of really exploring sound and exploring frequency and understanding how that can also be a part of the healing process for many people. And so I got crystal bowls and I got a drum, and then eventually I landed on gongs, and I realized that I really liked the gong, and only again purely by online. Never saw one in person, never been to a sound bath. And synchronicity again. This time, I was just like, I really want a gong. I decided, and I didn't know how I was going to get one, didn't know anyone who played one, didn't even know where you buy them in Toronto, had no idea of anything. And within a month or two of putting out that intention, of course, the universe brings me like two people in my city that play gongs, and I found out how to buy them. And, within a few months I had my own. So like, that's like the whole story, or part of the story, I guess, of how I really landed on sound healing. And what it's done is, I learned a lot about the physical health within my own health challenges, became a health coach, right? And then learned a lot about the subconscious mind and how the mind works. And then now it's really, I guess it's mainly focused on mind and sound. Because what I love about sound and working with sound is it allows people to drop into their body when things are coming up in discussion. And, once you start playing frequency and sound, their mind can actually turn off. So in a way, it bypasses that thinking mind that's really always in the way and causing resistance. And then it allows them to kind of relax and drop in. And then whatever subconscious beliefs that are there, or the things that are coming up, are able to transmute by myself holding the frequency, right? Holding the vibration of oneness, of a higher consciousness, and then their cells coming to meet those frequencies. And then change happens on, I guess, probably a level I don't really understand, but I understand, but I don't, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing about that. And yeah, I really agree. Like when you are in a sound bath, or when you do like receive sound healing, it really quiets the mind sometimes, like instantly, in a way that's, yeah, I'm still like, sometimes I feel surprised how powerful it can be, the sound, and how it can help us to, also because when we are in that state of being, we can really access some levels of consciousness. When the mind is really running, we can't be aware of those. Yeah, and also thank you for sharing your story. It's really inspiring, and it shows us that many times the challenges that we have, they are really, how to say, activators or ways that can show us the path where we can support others and inspire others in their path as well. So yeah, thank you for that. And so today's subject is about the codes of I am enough. And I would love if you can tell us your perspective about that, its importance in our life, like feeling whole and feeling enough.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that, well, I've seen in working with so many people that that feeling of being inadequate is a constant theme in people's lives. And so highlighted today, of course, in the world that we have with the benefits of social media, but the downside of it. And it just keeps pointing to this feeling of being inadequate or this feeling of not being enough, which in actual fact, you can see that it's so beautifully, divinely orchestrated because all it can do in the end is point towards one going inward and really finding their true wholeness, right? If they see it as an invitation for that. So I see it often, of course, uh, as a main theme or as a subplot of what's happening, which is just this feeling that they're broken inside and that, you know, they aren't enough and they can't possibly do anything else that will measure up. And of course, there's either past history of things that have happened, there's societal um, programming that tells us that we always need to be better, things need to be, you know, improved. So we're always seeking and searching for that feeling of that, you know, that we're whole and that we're enough, and what will that even feel like? So I think even most people are so disconnected that they can't imagine that. So of course we've been seeking outside of ourselves to feel that we are. So um so today, I mean, really what I'm here to share in the I am enough codes is really through sound, through the sound experience, and to entrain the cells through frequency to really to expand into something greater than their small self and to expand beyond that and to be in that space of oneness and unity consciousness. And within that, there's this feeling of an infinite being behind everything that actually is just enough, you know, just in this moment. And, you know, that's, you know, in session when I work with people, it's, you know, looking at the ways that, you know, in their lives they've been um, living from the feeling of being inadequate, and then looking to change that from a perspective of the subconscious mind, and then of course also through sound in terms of rewriting that code at the cellular level of being not enough.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And as we say, like when we do like deep healing, such the one you just described at the cellular level, it really it doesn't just change one thing, like from an experience, but it affects many aspects of our life at the same time. Um, because like from my understanding, that when we heal something or shift something, it's connected in many ways to many other things. So it's really when we do, for example, sound healing for feeling enough, feeling whole and complete, it really affects so many things at the same time.
Yeah, and I think that it's more about having an experience, because of course we can tell ourselves that we're enough, but that's just at the conscious
Yeah.
level. And so, like when I'm in session with people, what I really like to do is bring them through an experience. And, you know, it can be a meditative experience, it can be through sound, but it's allowing them to have a different experience of themselves just in that moment, that they're just tapping in to this feeling of being enough. And again, it's an experience of it. And then it becomes a knowing of it. And then you can take that with you, that remembrance that you had like in a moment, through sound, to then remember that so you can carry it through your day. Because of course we're going to get triggered, and of course life will still keep bringing us things that will push that button within us that says, no, you could be doing better, you're not enough right now. But then it's a remembering, right? To come back to that place within, come back to oneness, come back to that knowing that, no, I'm actually enough in this moment. And actually, if I may, I've been really feeling the seraphim around, um, before coming onto this call, like the last few days. And then I sat down and I just wrote something. And it applies to everything here. So if I may, I'll read it.
Yeah, of
Hope
course.
I own chicken scratch because it's automatic writing, so it just kind of flows. And I asked if there was a message about I am enough. And so I am enough is a vibrational experience. Allow yourself to connect to your high heart daily and be in the present moment. Fully accept what's here now as the truth of this moment. To not be enough is to not be in the present moment. To believe another story exists outside of what's happening now. So disengage from the frequency of inadequacy. It was only created to manipulate and to have competition. But there can be no competition, as you are all meant to be uniquely sovereign beings. When you know you are sovereign, when you know you are free to choose, you will not doubt you are enough. You will, this is where I can't read my stuff. You will know to just be in what is as enough.
Yeah.
That's what I wrote because I can't even read it. I just thought that was a
Yeah.
beautiful message.
Yeah. 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 That was very beautiful. And also when you were reading it, it brings some kind of release, feeling peacefulness. It's because when we try to embody this feeling of being enough, it really release a lot of how to say, some dense energy. It feels like lots of relief that we are experiencing. We feel much more lighter because there is no maybe I don't know the words, but yeah, because we put a lot of responsibility on ourselves. We should do this way, or we should do that, and we along the way we judge ourselves a lot in how we create our life. But when we feel enough, we just flow more easily and more gracefully. So
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah. And it is really starting to break down um those other frequencies, right? Of self-judgment, of self-hatred, of judgment of others. Once we start to disengage from all of those other frequencies, then the feeling whole and being enough also, it becomes an easier byproduct of also disengaging from all those other things. So it's a disengagement from all of the lower frequencies and really tied to self-judgment, right? Because really we're self-judging when we don't feel enough. And as the seraphim said, we're not in the present moment, right? Because if we kept staying in the present moment as acceptance as what it is, then there would be nothing to judge. There would be nothing to not feel like we're not enough, right? Um, so everything, yeah, I love how you said that everything is really tied together. And once you kind of address one area, you address all of them. And I guess, when we resist one thing, we resist everything.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Beautiful. And so do you feel it's the right time for the transmission?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Okay.
And I was just thinking, because we were doing that testing thing with the
Yes.
sound, that I probably can't hear you if I switch things, which is okay.
Okay.
I think if I go back to my original, let me just try that. And you can still hear me. Can you still
Y-
hear me?
Yes, it's the volume decreased, but I still hear you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And let's just test one thing to make sure it's okay.
Yeah,
How's that sound?
it's better than before. But if you can just increase the
I can't
gain
hear you
a
though,
little
that's the
bit.
problem.
Yeah.
Here, let's
If
do
you
this. So
okay.
I will turn that off. I think I can do this pretty quick. I understood what was going on here.
Yeah.
Talk now, I can hear you, right?
Yeah. It worked well. If you can just increase the gain just a little bit.
Speaks
Yeah.
the game.
Yes.
What I had before. So, and if
Okay.
anyone put in the chat to just confirm that they heard the gong, it's a little tricky on Zoom. Everything's
Yeah.
always different in sound healing, like in using these instruments.
Yeah, you can type on the chats, everyone, if you heard it. Yeah, David, you not heard it.
Okay, good. All right. So I'll go back to, I can't hear you, but you'll hear me.
Okay.
Okay, awesome. Thanks for everyone's patience. Excellent, because it helps, you just have a little patience with technology. Okay. Let me see if I'm all set up here. There's a lot of stuff around me. Okay, we can begin by closing your eyes. Just turn that up. Closing your eyes. Taking a deep breath. I want you to imagine a grounding cord coming from your root chakra, your pelvic floor, connecting you to the ground, flowing down, down into the soils below you, and connecting you into Mother Earth, allowing yourself to feel grounded. And just allowing yourself to focus on your breath. Allow yourself to be here and now, and connecting with the energy of I am enough. What would that feel like? In just this moment, to be enough. That everything in your life is perfect. Yes, and I can read some of the comments. If you have a headset, this will sound better, just for anyone out there for future. And just allowing yourself to connect inward. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Connecting to I am enough. Allowing yourself to be here and now. whole. I am enough. I am loved. I have everything I need in this now moment and to continue with my journey. In every moment, I am enough. And just taking a deep cleansing breath. Bring your awareness back to your body. And very gently taking your time. Taking your time on your next breath. When you are ready, you may open your eyes.
Do you hear me now?
Yes, you can hear me.
Yes, I do. Yeah, that was really amazing. I really loved it. Um, the sound of your voice and also the gong with the pause also. Um, as you say, it's really grounding. It's bringing sense of peacefulness, of being present, and at the same time being open, like opening our heart to really embody that the fullness, the feeling of being enough. So that was really really powerful. Thank you so much. And Dima shared the reverberation expanded me. Thank you. And yeah, so everyone, we would love to hear your feedback. You can type it on the chat boxes on Zoom or on YouTube. So today's call is more experiential. So we will not have a Q&A today, but we would really love to hear your feedback about about your experience with the transmission. And in the meantime, yeah, let me read this one from Rhonda. Spectacular. I was guided to this sound healing today. I have never heard anything quite like this. I really felt it in my heart chakra. Thank you. Fabulous. David, that was incredibly powerful. Thank you, everyone. And yeah, in the meantime, to receive more comments, I would love if you can tell us about the program you are offering today. And I invite everyone to visit the page yourdivineuniqueness.com/Sylvie, yourdivineuniqueness.com/Sylvie, Sylvie. Or you can click on the special offer button, which is on the live events page, later on the replay page. The link also on YouTube video description and on the chat boxes on Zoom and on YouTube. And we have three packages. The first one includes nervous system alchemy course with sound healing. Package B includes package A plus one-on-one private session. It's 1 hour private session. And package C includes package A, the nervous system alchemy course, plus 14 days remote energy healing. So yeah, so Sylvie, I would really love if you can tell us what our audience can experience from working with you.
Well, thank you. So the nervous system course with sound alchemy is a 5-week course that's already been recorded. So you'll get that immediately. And it's a 5-week course. Each week covers the nervous system. And I would say, at a basic general level, because of course the nervous system is very complex. So It covers, so there's teaching in the first half hour about the nervous system. And then each class ends with a sound healing. So a sound transmission that's for the nervous system. And except for class 2, if I recall correctly, class 2 is a whole sound healing for an hour. And that one was very potent. I know a lot of people responded back that they had things clear up in their life, and definitely an experience through that transmission because it was the whole hour. So it's a beautiful course because it touches upon the nervous system, which is so important because our nervous system is, what is actually running the show all day and doing its healing or not doing its healing because it's bombarded with so much from the external. So that's the nervous system course, and it is 5 weeks. And yeah, it's already been recorded, so you'll get that immediately. One-on-one session with me is starts with a conscious conversation about what is currently happening in your life, what's on your heart, what's coming up. And then I use different modalities, working with the subconscious mind to reprogram belief systems, and of course using sound when necessary. And we just help assist in transforming whatever heaviness or new things that you want to get into. Because definitely my role, I've been feeling more and more, and I've understood that my role is as a transitional guide. So I certainly help people through major transitions in their life and to raise consciousness. So to raise your own consciousness so that you can meet life with a new level of perspective. And then the third package, which is really special and near and dear to my heart, I've been having a lot of fun with this lately, which is remote energy healing. And so it's for 14 days. So I think it's such a treat because for 14 days you will receive energy healing every day. So there's nothing for the participant to do other than I probably will get their information and let them know that it's starting. So it will be a group transmission of daily energy quantum healing. And essentially, I will tap into the group. It will be around the topic of I am enough. And so I will just feel into the biofield of everyone in the group, and with sound essentially, and with the guides of my guides and theirs to transmute what is actually going on in terms of what's holding them back from not feeling enough and feeling inadequate, and self-judgment and self-hatred. So disengaging from those programs. And this will be done on a daily basis for 14 days through quantum energy. And for me, that's using sound. And so it'll be a transmission daily. And again, just to clarify, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to tune in to a call or anything. It's just done daily. And so, and it's beautiful because it's over a long period of time. So I find that the daily transmission really assists and supports the system of that person who's participating through intention, right? Because we're through the field with intention, intending, for the highest outcome.
Yeah, wonderful. And yeah, it really feels exciting, the 14 days remote healing. And it's like having been in a retreat with a group of people and receive healing daily and consistently. And yeah, it's really beautiful. And I love the subject that you mentioned, which we talked about today, feeling enough. Because once we are in that state, when we are feeling enough, like it really affects the way we take decisions. We start honoring ourselves, and we start seeing ourselves like really changing the way we live our life. And it really it can change to a much more positive way that we can be very, what you say, very pleased and about that. So thank you for including that, and also for the one-on-one session for those who want to work with you privately, and the course, which like you already talked about it, about the nervous system and how um, having a more like calmer nervous system can really help us to live a more maybe grounded and more fulfilled life. Because like you said, it can be really affected with the pace of life that we are having now and the way the societies are working right now at a fast pace. So yeah, thank you so much, Sylvie. So great to to you. And yeah, and everyone, I highly recommend that you sign up for one of the free packages that Sylvie is offering to us. And again, the link is yourdivineuniqueness.com/Sylvie, yourdivineuniqueness.com/Sylvie, Sylvie. Or you can click on the special offer button, which is on the live events page, later on the replay page. Also the link on YouTube video description and on the chat boxes on Zoom and on YouTube. And yeah, we have a feedback from Dima. I never had a sound bath before. I was reading Brené Brown on shame, and when I got Monsef's email about your session, it just made perfect sense. And hearing more about you, I resonated with your journey a lot, especially when it comes to allergies and the sensitive body. And love how you give attention to the brain. Yeah,
Wonderful. Thank you. Thanks for the feedback.
yeah, absolutely. And yeah, as you mentioned, that you are giving attention to the brain because like it really affects the way we feel in our body. If the brain is stressful, trying to control everything, to think about everything, like we start feeling our heart beating faster, maybe toward the
Well,
stomach, like it's
and yeah, it's interesting, right? Because we've been so in our minds and in our brains so much. And so even like within my own journey and the work that I focused in on, and then if you think about it, bringing it to sound is bringing it back into the body because we did, incarnate with a physical vessel for a reason, and it's for us to feel. And so it's to come out of that thinking and to come into here and just to feel. And that's the beauty, I think, of sound is that it allows, just like we hear a song, right, that allows us to feel emotion. And that's really what the sound is helping. It's helping to release emotion, to maybe feel some emotion, and then to resonate the cells with the frequency of the sounds. So that entrainment. So it's like I think it's the best thing ever. You can incorporate sound.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. I really love the sound healing, and also it's the experience with you was really powerful, and yeah, and also like many times in the spiritual communities, we hear that we start maybe judging the brain as doing something wrong, but here it's more about incorporating it in the experience and also
Yeah.
having it's not about rejecting it, but just being calm and also it's really needed in our life. So it's more like will be co-creation between the heart and the mind.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, beautiful. And so do you have any message you want to share with the group before we complete the session?
Hmm. Yeah, I think too, since we had the sound transmission, is to feel into that feeling of I am enough. And you can just close your eyes and imagine the sounds and the transmission again. And you can be right back in that place of feeling that you are enough and and that you really are, right? Everything else is just the mind telling you something else and you don't have to believe it. So I think it's just to remember, whatever was the whatever felt the best in the sound transmission, to remember that and to take it with you and to allow you to tap it back into that feeling that you are enough with your breath and with intention. And really, that's what we have every day, is to live in the present moment and to connect with our breath and to connect with our intention in that moment, and to remind yourself of, what is it that you want? Because we're all working towards something. And so, you know, what is it that I want in this moment? And so check in to see how you're feeling and where's your state of being and how you can um, repivot or adjust your state in that moment if it's not feeling aligned.
Yeah, yeah, that's very Very beautiful. Thank you so much, Sylvie, for this message, for everything you shared today. It was really powerful call, very inspiring. Thank you for the transmission, which I really loved. And like you mentioned, I invite everyone to listen to it again, have the experience again. So the replay will be staying on the website and also like on YouTube, and you can listen to it at your own convenience. So, Dima, yours. Thank you, Sylvie, so fulfilling. So, yeah, thank you everyone for the feedback. Thank you for co-creating with us this call today. Thank you for energies, whether on the live call or on the replay. And yeah, again, you can sign up for one of the three packages that Sylvie is offering to us on the link yourdivineuniqueness.com/Sylvie, yourdivineuniqueness.com/Sylvie, Sylvie. Or you can click on the special offer button, which is on the live events page. Later on the replay page, the link also on YouTube, video description, and on the chat boxes on Zoom and YouTube. And yeah, so thank you again, Sylvie.
Thank
And
you.
thank you. Thank you. And thank you, everyone. And I'm sending you so much love. And I will see you on the next call. Bye bye, everyone.